So what we have to do is get some better grounds on it. Otherwise the Constitution means nothing. The Constitution protects the minority from the majority of the moment. The Constitution is not made for the government. The government or the majority of the moment, which in this case here locally is the city and a local government and things like that, they are the majority of the moment. And they don't need much protection. They protect themselves pretty good. But the small minority is subject to their the mistreatment they experience in the hands of the government. This is what I'm trying to fight. Well, you probably say, well, the government, we are the government. That's not true. There is a contract or a compact. And that compact is between the people and the government. That means our government are three branches: the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. These are government, and we are the people, and there's a contract or compact, and that is the Constitution. On the state level, the state Constitution, and on the federal level, of course, the United States Constitution. And the city of Fairbanks is the home of the city, so we have a charter. And everybody has to obey the charter. And if this does not happen, if they violate the Constitution, what are you going to do? We have three branches, right? Checks and balances. We go to the courts, like we file suit. Say, well, look, here's a Constitution, here's a statute, there's a conflict. I make a decision, judge. But who is the judge? The judge is appointed by the government. And whoever puts him in office and pays his bill, this is who he's listening to. So he's not listening to our side, to the Constitution, but only to the statutes. So each time you go to the courts, chances are, on an issue like that, you will not be getting so-called right judges, because that is, they are the gods, but they are breaking down. And this is precisely what the problem is with this homeowner exemption. If you look at my little cartoon here, or whatever it is, you have the legislature, there's 1 foot on the Constitution, the other one they could kick the homeowner and hammer him down. Poor little fellow, and who gives them the information? The government interests, which are cities and boards, like Kenai, for example, they are opposing an exemption, a higher exemption. And then you have the special interests. Those are landowners and big people that have money. They have an interest in not raising the money, or the exemption. So this goes in there, and the legislature. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong side. Okay, you want me to repeat all that?
Nope.
Our word is law, but their word is what? It's a statute. The statute is not law. Law is the Constitution. That's the supreme law in the strictest sense. And the legislature makes what? Statutes. And the city and the board, they legislate what? Ordinances. So the ordinance has to be in compliance with the statutes. The statutes have to be in compliance with the Constitution. Also, the ordinances have to comply with the Constitution. And so this is where the problem lies. There is no guard for the Constitution. They just step on it. And they kick the little guy in pretty hard, where it hurts, and hammer him on the head. And because of the people that put him in office, on their campaign contribution, there's usually money people. It's not the little guys, they don't have the money to support. So these guys feed them, and they say, oh, well, it's law, and you're not going to get anywhere. Now, with that homeowner exemption, we have the problem Then the legislature says, well, look, our word is law, 20,000, no more. And why? Because of special interests and the government interests. You know, they are biased. Now, if I go down to those guys or appeal to our legislators and say, well, look, here's the Constitution. This is what you're doing. You're in violation of the Constitution. All your statutes are worth nothing. They are null and void because they're in violation of it. They just look at me and say, well, look, that's very interesting, Wolfgang. But who are you? You're one guy. You're one vote. Just get lost. That's what it is. Now, I don't have the money to bribe them. So what I have in power, I have to have the people. And this is what that petition is all about here. If we have about 30,000 people signing that petition, and we'll send it in January to the legislature when they start their 90-day session again, then there's pressure on it, because they know it's not only Wolfgang that has one vote. There are 30,000 votes out there. And they know, those people know about this exemption. And if they don't change the exemption or eliminate that last sentence I have here, what happens? They're not going to be re-elected. And it's election year next year. So for that reason, it is important that I have as many people as possible, not only to sign the petition here, but also get it to their friends and sign as many as you can and then mail it back in. Now, what is that petition all about? Everybody talks about they're running, you're in support of the exemption. Let's get 50,000, 100,000. Well, this is not the way to go by. The answer to the problem is to tell the legislature, comply with the Constitution, comply with the law. That means to eliminate the last sentence of that statute they have, which is AS 2945-050A, and that reads, in this case right now as it stands, is an exclusion or exemption authorized by the subsection may not exceed the assessed value of $20,000 for any one residence. So that sentence needs to be eliminated. Once it is eliminated, then they're in compliance. But they don't want to do that. So for me, to do this, to be effective, I have to have 30,000 people behind me. And if you don't get the signatures, they just say, well, you know, forget about it. We don't care about you. You know what I mean? They're going to be re-elected. The only way we could put the pressure on that legislature to eliminate that last sentence, and this is different than what the borough and the city is suggesting, you know, 100,000, raise it to 100,000, or raise it to 50,000. This is not the issue. The issue is to eliminate it. And this is what that petition is all about. Is there anything you...
So that's to eliminate the last sentence, so it would be a local choice.
That is correct, yes, because once you have that last sentence eliminated, then, as the statute stands, is the assembly or the city brings the question on a ballot before the voters. They have to have an ordinance first passed, and that has to be approved by the voters. So, and there is no limit one way or the other. The city might say, well, we should have 100,000 or 150,000, and people say, well, I think 200,000 is better for us, and we give another exemption for the renters because they pay taxes too, double taxes. And I didn't go into that double taxation yet. But
so should we support the state bills, but qualify it by saying it's none of your business, but by the way, we'll take it?
no, what the petition here says